Hi, this is Dale Cody and welcome to another DharmaPharm video tutorial. Today we're going to harness the power, fun, and creativity of the Wordle online, free online application with Photoshop to create a kind of a ad unit, something that you can do easily. You could also apply this to t-shirt designs, to just many things. I think Wordle's really powerful and a lot of fun. You see it a lot, and rightly so, because it's an enjoyable application, and of course being free, it makes it even better. So anyways, what we have on screen here, I'm going to press Control 0, and that's going to maximize that to the screen size I have. So this is what we're creating, is kind of an ad unit. It's not an IAB standard ad unit by any stretch of the imagination. It's just kind of a size that I've picked at random for whatever purposes we might do for the tutorial. And you can see that the Wordle part of it, the different keywords are at the top part in black in different colors, and the information and the call to action button are at the bottom in other colors. And we've used the same fonts for some of it, and some new stuff for the call to actions, etc. And essentially, this is kind of what we're going to be trying for here in this. There are endless variations. There's so many things you can do with this, and again, you could combine this with all kinds of illustrative graphics, other messaging, et cetera, to create some really fun stuff. So let's just go ahead and get started on this. And so I'm going to start with a clean slate on this, and I'm going to go to Firefox. I have the Wordle application up. It's www.wordle.net and /advanced. I think the advanced tab is kind of what you're looking for. And when you have this up, you may need to install Java Console, Runtime Console on your machine to make it work. And I find that it works better on some browsers than others. For example, Firefox, it works very well in Firefox. It doesn't play quite as nicely with Chrome unless you run through a few hurdles. So I'm just going to use Firefox on this. If you look at the application here, you'll see that there's some words down here under example, fruit bats, :133, underneath that llamas on parade, 85.43. Those are keywords, and the numbers after the colon are essentially the weighted numbers or the font sizes that you're going to have in here. It doesn't correspond exactly to a pixel size or a point size, but it is proportional. So the bigger the number, the larger the font, the larger the keyword will be. And these are, of course, keywords. So, you're probably trying to put some sort of a message in here. And the choice of keywords is kind of important. It's really almost unlimited. You can put a lot of keywords or a few keywords. You can experiment. You'll find a good combination that works well for you. So what I've done is I've created a notepad document here with a number of keywords for an example, say build a WordPress site. And I've put keywords in here that I think are, have some sort of relevance and meaning, and I've weighted them accordingly. Obviously, the largest one is WordPress site design at 375. Some of the smaller ones are, say homepage or products about us at 60, 65 kind of thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Control or Command C to copy this to the paste board. And then I'm going to go back to Firefox, and I'm going to highlight that, and then I'm going to press Command or Control V to paste those in, and then click the Go button. And Wordle will generate its first instantiation of this, and it's at random. It's not what I want, but there's lots of opportunities to customize here. So if you look under the Wordle logo here and the home navigation, the primary navigation, you'll see there's some controls here that we can use. So first thing I want to play with is the layout. And it does give you some options, any which way, horizontal, mostly horizontal, etc. I'm going to choose mostly horizontal with that because it works best with my design. And then color palette, I don't like the color palette much at all. And I've got a black background, so I'm just going to pick, say, this chilled summer at first. Maybe don't like that so much, so let's try, say, Firenze. I'm going to choose that. I like that a little bit better. Let's go with that one. And now for fonts, it is the font that I want. I'm going to go with the font they have here. It's Steelfish. But there is, if you do click the font drop down, there is a lot of choices here. There's several choices that you can use to generate, and I don't like this one a whole lot for this particular purpose. So I'm just going to go back and I'm going to re-choose Steelfish if I can find it in there. And then you can choose at the top of these layout and color navs, you can choose to relay out with current settings, and just keep clicking that until you get something that you like. And it's almost endless. I mean, it's really a lot of fun to work with. Color-wise, I can recolor it as much as I want. What I can do is I can take that exact palette, say on this one I've chosen the Firenze color palette, and I say, oh, let's put a little variation on it. How about a little bit more variation, lots of variation, and then how about wild variation? Let's see what that we get out of that. That's pretty wild. Let's just go back to maybe a little variation and see what we get with that. So when you get a design that you like and you want to save it, if you look down here, there's some buttons down here and it says save as PNG. If I click that button, it would save me a file. It would save a PNG file the exact same size as this window here. It's possible, depending on the application, that I might want a larger image in there for larger applications, so I can scale down. And what you can do for that is you can say click on the Open in Window button, and it'll generate a pop-up window that you can resize and resize it to any size you'd like. And what will happen is when you save it as a PNG now, it'll save it at that window size. So you'll get a much larger or potentially smaller PNG. So let's say save that, and I'll save that as, I'll just change the instantiation, say to 3, and we'll go with that. And then let's close that, and you can still see we're back in the Wordle document. You can continue to to make variations and customize and save and resave to get lots of different variations. But for now, let's go back to Photoshop. And what I'm going to do is I've already opened that original one that I like. And here it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Control A to select everything, Control or Command C to copy it to the paste board. I'm going to come back to my add doc, and I'm going to paste that in Control or Command V. And by zooming out with the Control minus key, you can see that it's too big. It's too big for what I need, and that's good. I would rather scale down than up. So I'm going to press the Command or Control T button to transform, and then I'm going to zoom out using the Control minus key. And then I'm going to shift click the corner to constrain the proportions, and I'm just going to scale that down, and Control plus key to bring that up a little bit so I can see it better. And now I'm just going to move it around and scale it till I get it about where I want it. And you can play with that kind of all day if you want. If I press the shift up or down arrow keys, it moves it by 10 pixels or so at a time. I'll get that to a point where I'm happy with it. Let's just make it just a tiny little bit bigger and down a bit more. So I think that's about where I want. I'm going to press the enter key to commit to that. I like that. And now we're going to create that white rectangle that will frame the text, the call to action text, and the information text that we're going to use later. So either press the M key to go to the rectangle, or just go up to your tools here and click the little rectangle. And we're going to draw out. Actually, first before I do that, I'm going to switch colors so that my primary color is the white. So I'm just press the X key, and that will shift the white and the black. And then I'm going to draw a rectangle here. And I want it to be the full width of the canvas, and which is 1,000 pixels in this case. And then I'm going to make it, maybe about 250 or so pixels tall. And by pressing the Alt backspace key, that will fill that rectangle with white. And that's what I'm looking for here. At this point, if I wanted to, I could adjust that size, but I'm happy with it where it is. So I'm going to press Command or Control D to deselect that. And that's the white background layer. Next thing I want to do is I want to create a button, and then we'll create type around that. So for the button, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here to the rounded rectangle tool. I don't want to stroke, but I do want to fill. I'm going to pick color, maybe that aqua color there. I like that aqua color. And we'll go with that. And so let's not do that. So now I'm going to draw a rectangle for the button. And let's say I want it. Oh, it's not super critical, but somewhere around that neighborhood. It's going to bring up the info palette. This will allow me to adjust that rectangle. I think 25 pixels is too much for the corner radius. I have those constrained to all 4 corners. So let's just try, let's say 15 first. Press the tab key. It's better, but I think maybe a little bit more. So let's just highlight that and take it down to 12 pixel corner radius. I like that quite a bit better. Size is okay. I don't have a stroke for this one. I just want to fill on that, so that's okay. And let's just move that over to the corner a little bit for now. And then let's create some type on here. So the first thing I want to create, for example, it would be the order now text. So I'm going to just sort of click anywhere, and I'm going to type in order now and highlight that, and I'm going to choose the new color. I don't think white's going to work very well. So why don't we pick a hex color? We'll go with 6B001E, kind of a brick color. Let's say OK on that. And let's move that over the button. We can adjust all that stuff later on, not a problem. Actually, while I'm thinking about it, let's add an exclamation mark on there. Call to action is important, so I really want to call attention to that. I want people to order. So I've added an exclamation mark. It's maybe a little over the top, but for now, I think that's kind of what we're looking for. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create another line of text. Let's drop the cursor in here, and let's just say super, this will make more sense in a minute, super cool world class website. And let's just move that just above and sort of flush right with that button. We'll line that text up with smart arrows. We can adjust size and leading and our size and tracking later on. That's not a problem. And then let's add another line of text. And let's call this one get your own. And let's do a couple things. Let's change the font and let's change the color on this one. So color wise, I think for this one, let's go with EE 5D, and let's say 2F, kind of a bright orange color. Click OK on that one. Let's change the font. Let's make it Steelfish, like the font in the Wordle doc. So I'm going to scroll down here through my fonts. I love fonts. I have a lot of fonts. Well, probably too many, but in my opinion, you can't have too many. I'm just going to go down here to find Steelfish. I want it to be bold, so I'm going to say Steelfish extra bold. It's too small. Let's try it at 96 points and see what we get. I think that's going to work a little bit better. So then let's just sort of move it down in this area. That's looking a little bit better. So on this one, I think if we made this a little bit bigger, let's try, say, 40 points. That might be too much. Just sort of want to eyeball this. Actually, you know what? Let's use that space. You know what? Let's say 40. I'm going to say 38 is going to work better for me here. And then I'm going to line it up with that. I'm just eyeballing it. If this was actual production, I would measure that and get it exactly right. I would use guides and measure it exactly right. So get your own, same thing. I'm just going to move this over to here like that. So now we have a pretty easy to create ad. We've used the fun and very powerful, very flexible, free Wordle online application to create some good messaging with keywords and some other messaging below, and then of course a call to action, which is really important. And one thing to bear in mind when you're creating these kinds of ads is to use, and I'll do this as a subject of a later tutorial, but the AIDA thing, which is not an opera at all. It stands for attention, interest, desire, and action. So you want to create, you want to get people's attention, you want to generate some interest, you want to cultivate their desire for something, and then you want to make sure they take action on the call to action, and that is the Order Now button. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and we'll see you for the next one.